Those are all lives of individuals who have been devastated by failed government policies, as some people look at that problem and say, we need more government failed policies, which is absolutely ridiculous. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudowski here of wearechange.org, and there's a lot of absolute bedlam and chaos to expose that we're going to be talking about in this independent media report, as we are going to be talking about the local news happening all around inner cities throughout the United States, with a bigger political focus on what is happening with the Biden administration that looks like they are just going for broke with their latest previous failed policies that they're trying to resurface again, as of course they have just created a new Martyr that looks like he will be taken over from the old regime. How will that regime look like? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was originally shared by Ashley St. Clair on Twitter. It looks like on TikTok it was on the Blizzard effect. Again, I don't know exactly who made this video, but it highlights the streets of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, showing you the true problems that a lot of people are dealing with that sadly a lot of politicians don't give a damn about. And whether it's the U.S. trade policies, whether it's the fentanyl, whether it's the war on drugs, whether it's the low cost availability of drugs but high cost of healthcare, whether it's the opioid epidemic, whatever you might paint the problem to be, it is important to understand here that a lot of Americans are living lives of despair and only continue to do so in greater numbers as, of course, our current social political justice system is allowing and excusing the destruction of any kind of normalcy, any kind of regular business activities that are being disrupted by individuals that are literally just going in and taking whatever they want for themselves. Criminal gangs, illegal activity on the rise, as of course it's being excused every single day, while political thought crimes are highly prosecuted. This, as the war on drugs only empowers criminal elements in this country that are being supported by the justice system that a billionaire is financing through district attorneys all throughout the country that are essentially playing out the plot of RoboCop right in front of our eyes. This, as one of America's biggest landmark, Times Square, is, quote, back to its old days being an utter crap hole, according to the New York Post, that is documenting the bedlam that is being normalized in the region and becoming more and more common by the day. And what did you expect with all the fifth generational warfare going on against the American people there, as life is being made more and more difficult for the average American, as the government keeps promising more and more intervention, taking more and more of your money, and creating more of a mess. As now daily life in New York City includes roving youths that are pretending to hit you with a bike. Yeah, that seems like a nice way to spend your Sunday. And with all this lawlessness, this is one reason we have created our own Thug Life t-shirts representing the former president of the United States, as of course the mugshot of the former president of the United States just came out a few days ago. And as soon as it did, we released our Outlaw t-shirts, which are exclusively available on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. This one, a very hot seller, and now I could say I could probably put my children through college because of this particular shirt, as of course it is selling like hot shirts. And whether you're looking for women's t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, sweaters, long sleeve shirts, you name it, we got it, especially when it comes to the latest political theater that we are all enthralled with when it comes to the arrest of Donald Trump. And this is why we have a lot of t-shirts representing the outlandishness of this larger idea, as it's fair to say that our political dichotomy right now is an absolute circus, and one reason right now why we also launched our Tucker Carlson 2024 for President shirts, which you could also get on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. This is a great way to do lazy activism. This is a great way to meet like-minded individuals, to help them laugh, to help them consider political thoughts and ideas that they wouldn't see or hear anywhere else other than you wearing the shirts in real life. What better way to show people that they are not alone in their discontent to our larger, ever-growing injustice? What better way to trigger a Kyle or Karen? What better way to find like-minded individuals, possible new friends, and do your lazy form of activism than just by simply buying a t-shirt and wearing it out there to the general public? There's some shirts on thebestpoliticalshirts.com that we cannot show you here. They are just too spicy, and because they're too spicy, you're going to have to go to the website, which is linked down in the description below, to see those ideas yourself. Ideas that cannot be censored because they are going to be represented in real life. And these shirts are an amazing way of starting conversations, reaching people, and doing your part where independent media can't reach. Get them all exclusively right now on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, and I will see you there right after this broadcast, as of course we are not done here, as the American people look distracted by the latest glizzy trend and keep forgetting just how utterly corrupted and messed up the federal government is. This as videos like this are making headlines and are being shared by millions.
Think of the, pardon me, I heard you too. Think of the glizzies. 100 glizzies entering glizzy overdrive. Increasing grip by 7%. We are locked in. Thank you for over 160 glizzies entering glizzy overdrive.
He gay. While, of course, the U.S. federal government still keeps denying victims' family members from a tragedy that happened nearly 20 years ago the documents and information to what really happened that day, specifically when it comes to the involvement on foreign governments like Saudi Arabia. There, of course, were other governments involved in this event almost 20 years ago. Specifically, 22 years ago. We're about to have the latest anniversary coming up in just a few days from now, as the family members from that tragic event are still waiting for the information to come out about exactly what happened on that specific day. Asking specifically the Biden administration that is known for their corruption with other governments like Ukraine, who have covered up a lot of very important information from the American people. This, as the former top Ukrainian prosecutor has come out against Joe and Hunter Biden in an exclusive interview with Fox News, talking about how there was absolutely illegal activities engaged between the Biden family and Burisma Oil. As this former Ukrainian prosecutor talks about how he was ousted in 2016 because he was investigating Burisma Oil, the company that was paying off Hunter Biden lucratively a lot of money, as of course Hunter Biden served on the board of that company even though he had no real experience to be there. Joe Biden then dangled aid to the Ukrainian country unless this prosecutor was fired, and then, surprise, surprise, Joe Biden bragged about firing him with the Council on Foreign Relations. This as Victor Shogun is also claiming that he was poisoned twice by enemies that were trying to, quote, silence him after he was fired, as he is still coming out and speaking about the very clear illegal activities that were conducted by the current regimes in power right now that have tried to silence him and stop him from holding corrupted government officials accountable. Now, this is a major bombshell that the former chief prosecutor of Ukraine allegedly being poisoned twice as he is talking about the attempts on his life, highlights how this criminal enterprise that we are still scratching the surface of is probably a lot deeper and more sinister than we could even imagine currently right now. This, as we're also learning today, that the Biden administration is soon going to be asking Congress for funding for a new rushed experimental gene therapy that, of course, and try to manipulate the American public to take. This as already multiple school districts throughout the United States are closing their classes due to an alleged surge in sicknesses, as many people are expecting new lockdowns and restrictions, as The Telegraph is reporting that Biden's plot to send Americans back into lockdowns, quote, must be stopped, as the Associated Press also has another article talking about how it's a conspiracy theory that we're going to have the return of these lockdowns. This as the Biden administration has already spent a lot of money buying PPE and other preparedness tools, as a new study coming out from a university in South Korea just talked about how a lot of these PPE protective precisions, like N95 masks, actually expose wearers to dangerous levels of toxic compounds that have been linked to seizures and cancers. As even Reuters came out and talked about how most people who took a rushed experimental procedure were actually the ones that died from the sickness that the procedure was supposed to stop. Why is this all happening? Well, according to Mike Cernovich, he highlighted the clear stock drop of two big multinational corporations that have essentially hijacked the government and made them their own personal PR and marketing representatives. This, as a lot of people are speculating, that there's going to be a reintroduction of this sickness in order to bring back lockdowns, in order to bring back mail-in ballots, in order to stop people from campaigning, which essentially was a strategy that worked very well for the Democrats almost 4 years ago. This, as they are also arresting their number one chief political rival, Donald Trump, that is essentially becoming a martyr because of the political prosecution against them, as today we are finding out, according to Politico, that he was able to raise over $7.1 million after a viral photo of him hit the internet a couple days ago, highlighting his mugshot in Georgia that, of course, has been bringing people together from the left and right, celebrating it. This, as the former president of the United States just released a photo of himself from that mugshot, highlighting a meme of many weapons being pointed at his face, highlighting a lot of the individuals, organizations, and groups that are going up against him. And I think it's fair to say that these indictments, these arrests, are absolutely backfiring and are responsible for the resurgence of the political career of the former president of the United States that is becoming more popular and unstoppable than ever, predominantly because of these prosecutions against him, which, in my opinion, are absolutely backfiring. This, as we even made our own mugshot merchandise that has sold pretty well of this entire incident, as Donny Boy is becoming more unstoppable than ever. This, as today we're also finding out that the judge in one of his cases is also linked to Marxist revolutionaries, which definitely doesn't help the case against him, as there are now legal challenges filed in federal court trying to remove him from the 2024 presidential race, which probably will backfire again, as, of course, there has been a huge resurgence of support for the former president of the United States, even in urban areas, where we have videos like this of him driving through an urban Atlanta neighborhood with people celebrating the former president of the United States in a heavily black area. Now, with this administration prosecuting him, with this administration trying to bring in new emergency lockdowns and protocols, it definitely seems like they're grasping at the straws here and becoming more desperate by the day, as their political opponent that they're trying to stop is becoming more popular by the day. What other desperate measures will they be trying to utilize in order to try to stop him? Well, I think it's fair to say that they're going to become more desperate as time goes on, as almost every action against him has single-handedly backfired. Now, is this all a part of a larger scam or a larger plot, a larger conspiracy? Well, some people have actually talked about that. There might be a little bit of merit in there, as of course you kind of got to wonder, what in the hell are they thinking? How stupid are these people? And are they stupid, or is this a part of a bigger plot? What do you think is going on here? Let me know down in the comment section below, as of course skepticism is your best friend, especially in this latest day and age of psyops after psyops after psyops, as the system becomes more unhinged, more backed into a corner, and more dangerous against you, the average citizen out there. If you agree with me, share this video with your friends and family members. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys buying the shirts, and because you do on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, I wouldn't be here, and that's why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.